And welcome to the Krug Show, the Wednesday night edition. Fire up the band. Of course, get things rolling. Brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. There we go. There we go. I pay these guys way too much money not to use them.
Ridiculous.
I mean, think about it. I assemble a band and get them to riff like this the same way every night. Amazing. You don't know what that costs. All right. Thanks. Thanks for joining the Krug Show. I just came out of watching a little Northgate varsity baseball. They got a big win. Congratulations to them. We are brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. Emeryville, Corte Madera. They're open from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out, and they do run out. It's all great, man. It's the barbecue chicken, the brisket chili. It's amazing. Go check it out. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Tell them that Krug sent you. We're also brought to you by MarinAutoglass.com, Underdog Fantasy. Check the link in the description. Use the promo code Krug, and they'll match you up to your first 100. And then Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles. Thanks to them. Thanks to ValleyHillRoofing.net. Both of their websites are linked in the description. And we have a brand new sponsor as well, Aura. We'll hear more from them later on this evening. Kev, how are you?
Doing good. The one nice thing about the offseason is it's kind of like smooth sailing. You know, only a few things to cover every day. It's a nice little break. I was just about to say, you're looking a little dark. It's like it's late night Larry right now. It's
I know. Where's my
you're missing the red light. We got to have the matching red lights.
Where's my remote for the red light?
It's okay.
You're good. Wait. Is this it? Or is this the old remote? That's not it. That's the old remote. Where is the red light remote?
The lighting is sus. Thank you, sus.
Did I knock it on the ground?
It's okay.
Well,
you look fine. You don't have to do it.
I know, but I really. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Oh, it's right in front of you.
Woo. The whole time. There we go. Well, that makes a huge difference. All right, now we both got the red.
That
going.
is the show. That's the show right there.
All right, we're off and running. We are off and running. Okay, welcome to the Krug Show. And of course, it's February 28th, 2024. This is our call-in show. Kev comes up with the topics. I thought it was a great day today for the 49ers. I'll tell you why later on. What do you think, Kev? What do you got for me? You're kind of the driver. You're kind of the point guard tonight.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a short show. I know we always say that, but specifically tonight, because at 7:30, Ned Colletti's coming on to talk Giants baseball.
7:45.
7:45. Maybe I should actually change that. But so we have about an hour show. We'll hit calls sooner than usual. So the call link's in the chat. If you want to join in the calls, we'll probably take calls in about 20 minutes.
20 minutes from now.
20 minutes from now. That's my guesstimation.
First, I got a lot to say tonight on the Niners and the Giants.
First thing I want to show today is this came across my Twitter timeline, and I just
can I get a bite of my sandwich? I missed dinner. I'm late. Go ahead. As you're talking, go ahead.
Well, I don't have much to say other than I saw this come across my Twitter timeline saying, breaking, Jets quarterback Zach Wilson has been given permission to seek a trade per GM Joe Douglas. I think a lot of people would see this and be like, don't care. But I know one guy that has been saying that the Niners should trade for Zach Wilson, and that's you. You have been the person that has been saying the Niners should trade for Zach Wilson, even when Trey Lance was on the team. So that was months and months and months and months ago. Already people in the chat saying, no. Well, the Niners do have potentially are going to have an open, backup quarterback slot. The Vikings are showing interest in Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's most likely moving on. They're going to have to get a backup quarterback. Zach Wilson is a guy that they were linked to back in the draft process and, a couple years ago. And, John Lynch, I think, is on the record and just the 49ers staff in general of really liking Zach Wilson. Obviously things could have changed since then. Zach Wilson's career has not really panned out the way that he wanted it to. But what would you think of Zach Wilson coming to the 49ers? If he came to the 49ers, it would cost the Niners around $8 million on their cap.
Which would be, more than Darnold cost last year.
Right.
Darnold, I think, was $5 million. Is that locked in, or could they negotiate that?
I am not sure. I just know, looking at his cap numbers, that he has an $8 million salary. I don't know. Maybe you can negotiate that. I'm not sure exactly how that works.
I mean, the guy's got a ton of arm talent, and it just hasn't happened in New York. And there's been an adjustment period. He's made some mistakes. He hasn't been on a good team with a good line, but he hasn't played well. I won't pretend that Zach Wilson has played well. His value is down considerably from when he was the second pick in the draft. I think you can get him at a song. I do know that he wanted to be a 49er. Coming out of BYU, and I feel like, Steve Young and I have had multiple conversations where Steve seemed to indicate that he felt like Shanahan liked Zach Wilson. I like Zach Wilson as far as his ability and his talent, but I mean, there's a major. When you're going from what he went to at BYU, where he had a great offensive line and he just rarely, if ever, played from a muddy pocket, to the NFL, where you're always in a muddy pocket. What I mean by that, there's bodies flying around you. Some guys don't like those bodies flying around them, and it makes them kind of skittish. Brock Purdy, obviously, it doesn't matter to him. Thus far, Wilson has not looked good in the NFL in any of those muddy pocket situations. But he does throw the ball really, really well. He is a relatively young guy. That's a pretty low cost. I don't know that I want to pay my backup quarterback $4 million more than I did last year. I might be okay with just going with Brandon Allen as the backup and drafting a rookie. I think that may make more sense than Zach Wilson. But if you're asking me, have I wavered at all? No, I think Zach Wilson eventually will get it going, and I do. I would take a look at him if he were a backup candidate.
Yeah, I brought this up just purely because I know that you've brought it up in the past.
You want to see 27 people email me and call me an idiot, and
I brought it up because I want people to just dump on you. No, I personally
dunking on crew. Did he like Zach Wilson? Can you believe it? Oh.
I personally don't really like Zach Wilson, just for a number of reasons, but $8 million for a guy that's kind of a project.
Yeah. That's not my first choice. He wouldn't be my first choice.
Definitely not.
I'd rather take a higher upside, lower price project swing. I advocated for Joe Milton,
who is another project. I don't like Joe Milton either. No offense.
I know a lot of people don't, and I get it. I understand. He's not developed. He's really raw. He hasn't played well. He's got great physical gifts, but the ball doesn't come out on time, and the accuracy, and I get it. But this guy's got such high level talent that I would take a chance on him, that I could coach him up, because you're talking about 6'5", 240, great wheels, huge arm. Like the biggest arm and one of the fastest guys. I don't know. I take my chance. If I'm going to invest in a third string quarterback, I'd like to take a huge swing, and Joe Milton would be my huge swing.
All right.
What's not to like? I mean, I understand the guy is raw, but I mean, he's got some good numbers. He played in the best conference in America. You're talking about 6'5", with just a ridiculous gun and good speed, strong body. I mean, this guy can zip it in there like nobody's business. Now, I agree. He hasn't done it to date. He's not as refined as he maybe will be, but to me, that's the guy that I would like to take a chance on. Somewhere in the mid to late rounds of this draft. Not in day one, not in day two, but like early day 3. Joe Milton. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that I've gone through the entire quarterback draft class, but I have seen Joe Milton play. He definitely is an incredible talent. Just everything you thought Trey Lance was in terms of his athletic ability, this guy has it and a lot more. He's faster. He has one of the craziest arms I've ever seen. He just throws the ball limitlessly, but I don't know. The accuracy isn't there. He wasn't very successful with the Vols this season. He definitely is a project, and I don't really see the Niners taking a project on a quarterback.
There's other rookies in this draft that fit them probably better. I mean, just give you a couple examples: Austin Reed, Western Kentucky Hilltoppers, Gus Bradley's kid, Carter Bradley from South Alabama. I really kind of like him. So there are other quarterbacks that I think they've already looked at Slovis from BYU. I'm not a big fan of his at all, but I kind of like Michael Pratt a little bit, like JJ McCarthy, Spencer Rattler, those guys. But McCarthy's going to go in the first round, though. I think.
Oh yeah, they're not going to get McCarthy.
But as far as quarterbacks go, I mean, look, you're talking about Joe Milton is 6'5", 250, and can throw the heck out of the football, and has just got huge strength, body strength. He's got elusiveness, mobility. I mean, to me, I'll take my chances with a guy with Joe Milton's, physical ability. I mean, I just think you're talking about this guy played 3 seasons, began his career at Michigan, 21 college starts, 43 games, 29 appearances at Tennessee with 16 starts. So, I mean, he's played in some big conferences. He was the Capital Orange Bowl 2022 MVP. He's had some big games. Let's not pretend he hasn't. He was 65% completion percentage, 20 touchdowns, 5 picks. It's not like we're talking about some guy who didn't put up good numbers. He did put up good numbers in the SEC. He showed mobility, averaged 25 yards rushing per game, ran for 300 yards on the year, 3.8 a carry, 7 rushing touchdowns. Most by a Vols quarterback since Josh Dobbs had 12 in 2016. Was big on senior day, threw for 394 and 6 touchdowns when they beat Vandy. I don't know if you saw any of that film. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I understand what people are saying when they're saying, oh, he doesn't, some people are critical of him saying, oh, he doesn't know how to play the position and he's not refined, so on and so forth. But I mean, this guy is, I think he's special, man. I really do. I think they're special there. He's the oldest of 7 kids. He's Anquan Bolden's cousin. He graduated with a degree already. He's working towards another degree at Tennessee.
I mean, not to derail the show. Joe Milton, great prospect, but not to derail the show and just talk about quarterbacks that the Niners won't draft. But the quarterback that I think that's been falling in the draft boards that I have no idea why he's falling, and I'd say if he's there in the 3rd round, even though the Niners do not need a quarterback, I would draft him, is Michael Penix. Because I don't understand why Michael Penix is falling in the draft. Every time I've watched him play, I don't buy into a lot of the, they say he's good, so he is good. The Caleb Williams talk, he's obviously a great quarterback, but I was skeptical because every time I watched Caleb Williams in these big games, he didn't have a phenomenal game. He threw, multiple picks and lost against Notre Dame this year. When I watched Michael Penix, he was incredible. I thought he was incredible. And I think if he beat Michigan, we'd be talking about him in the top 10. But something about the way that they lost in the end of the season, he's just fallen down the draft boards, and JJ McCarthy has soared up. I really like Michael Penix as a prospect.
I do too. I mean, that's my guy, man. I mean, I've been all about this guy all year. This is the guy. I mean, this guy's he's a lefty. He's got an absolute gun. Pac-12 academic honor roll, smart kid. Won the Maxwell Award as the most outstanding player in the nation, 2nd in the Heisman voting, highest ever for a Husky. Walter Camp, first team All-American, 15-game starter at quarterback. Yeah, I mean, he's led the nation in passing yards, led the nation in passing yards per game, and he did that last year as well. So this is 2 years in a row. So I mean, the guy was named captain by his teammates, led the nation in passing yards all season long. So had a great season, had a really great season. He's just a special player, man. This guy's got a gun, a ridiculous gun. And I know that people say, well, it's a Dunze and the other guy, but I personally, I think this guy made them more than they made him.
Yeah.
MVP of the Sugar Bowl. I mean, offensive, most valuable offensive player in the postseason awards banquet. The guy's special, really, really special player. Started at Indiana and transferred, spent 2018 and 2019, 2020, 2021, all at Indiana. And he played 20 games over 4 seasons. He was the team captain there, and they won with him. He went 12-5 as a starting quarterback at Indiana. I mean, in the Big 12, I mean, they don't win. So, he's team MVP. He's from Tampa Bay Technical High School. He played there, 61 touchdowns, 6 picks in 24 games as the starter there. So the guy, it's not like, well, he's like this guy who just burst on the scene. This guy's been great. 61 touchdowns and 6 picks in 24 high school games. That's pretty good. Hillsborough County Player of the Year. So he also played baseball. He ran track. He did the high jump and the sprints. So this is Michael Penix is my favorite quarterback in the draft. I'll say it. I like Michael Penix. If you say, give me your quarterbacks in this draft, I like Michael Penix, a little Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Pratt from Tulane, Milton, Carter Bradley, Austin Reed, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, some people in the chat are saying Penix didn't play anyone good or didn't play well against anyone good. They dropped 37 against Texas.
Yeah, hey, what are you talking about?
Texas was pretty good.
Texas is going to have like 5 guys drafted off their defense in the NFL draft in a month.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy's big time. He's a big time player. Not what separates Penix is he's got massive hands and he can throw the hell out of the football. I saw him on one of the windiest nights I think I've ever seen. They played a Thursday night game 2 years ago there in Seattle. It was super windy. Whoever they were playing, I think it was Oregon State or somebody, could not throw the football at all that day. Couldn't throw it at all. Penix just lasers right through the wind. And this guy throws a tremendous ball. I would say, what round did you say?
I mean, I'm seeing him in the second round, but he's been kind of falling. I checked before the national championship, his draft, his tankathon number, he was around in the teens, and now it's he's a second round pick. So I'm just saying if he falls to the third, I don't even know. It doesn't make any sense. You have Brock Purdy, but I'm just saying that was just something I noticed. But I don't want to get too far off on a tangent. We're already 18 minutes in here, and we haven't talked about anything Niners related. I'll just bring up these 2 last topics pretty quick, both from a Mike Silver piece. Mike Silver came out today and had a really interesting article. We don't really talk a lot about Mike Silver in here, but he is a great reporter. He's been
what do you mean we don't talk a lot about Mike Silver in here?
Well, I mean, I feel like we don't read about every single one of his pieces, but this piece in particular I thought was interesting. You can take another bite of your sandwich. I'm going to read this real quick.
Oh, okay.
So
good.
he said, Mike Silver in his piece said, in theory, head coach Kyle Shanahan and general manager John Lynch can reckon with their overtime loss in Super Bowl 58, make some hard choices designed to keep the team competitive for years to come, force feed recent draft picks into the lineup that they've got. But what's the fun in that? And then he says, more likely, Shanahan and Lynch will fight through their shared trauma, get off the mat, and come out swinging. Something that could lead to aggressive moves in the draft and free agency and result in potential trades. Make no mistake, with quarterback Brock Purdy on a rookie deal and a rapidly rising salary cap, the 49ers are in it to win it once more in 2024. So he obviously thinks that the Niners can make a big move.
Wait. Let me get this straight. The Niners, who are inside their Super Bowl window and have this incredible roster, and last year lost in the NFC Championship game and this year lost in the Super Bowl, are in go for it mode? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I just want to make they're in go for it mode. Okay, I get it.
Well, obviously.
No shit. I mean, come on. No, come on. They're in go for it mode. Of course they're in go for it mode.
Well, of course. But some people don't think they're going to make a big splash in free agency or potential trade. I titled the stream "Possible Moves the 49ers Can Make This Offseason." Based people are shitting on me. Based on
people are booing. Boo. Yeah, I mean, do we have
let me just talk here.
All right.
Forget the article. What's a big name move or just a big move that Niners could make? There's obviously, I think this free agency class is pretty stacked. I have my own personal favorites that I like in free agency, but if the Niners were going to make a big move in the offseason for a big name player, whether that's in a trade or free agency, who could you see them going after?
If they're going to make a big trade,
or free agency,
or in free agency, I mean, they need an offensive tackle, a defensive end, a defensive tackle, a corner, probably another wide receiver at some point, even though they seem pretty stacked. Maybe the replacement for Juice, a fullback, a replacement for Kittle. I mean, they need a number of things for sure. Who could I see them going after? Defensive end. I mean, how about? I mean, part of me says aim big and go after Chris Jones.
He's like the number one free agent right now,
right? And that's what you need. What do you need? You need Chris Jones. What can't you beat? You can't block Chris Jones. In the old Niner days, they would say, "Go get Chris Jones." So Chris Jones would be the first object number one. If you can get anybody, go get Chris Jones. But Vish had a name last night that I think is a little bit more prudent, a little bit more, I don't know, not prudent, but a little bit more realistic, I guess, is Jonathan Greenard from Houston.
That guy's on my list. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a blue chipper. He's 260 pounds. He's, a force against as a pass rusher off the edge. The guy that I would be interested in, because he would be even cheaper than that, would be Leonard Floyd. I've seen Leonard Floyd be good with the Rams. Every time I watch Leonard Floyd, he looks really good coming off the edge. And you put him opposite Bosa, and now maybe you got something. I love the way Leonard Floyd has played the last few years, and I think he's super special. And if you could get him because he's not going to cost you as much as Greenard either. But that would be the more realistic price tag, is probably Leonard Floyd. But Greenard would be huge, absolutely huge. The other guy that I really like is Willie Gay. If you looked at how fast Willie Gay is, or Azeez Al-Shaair, somebody at inside backer would be nice. Yeah, those are the ones that stand out to me. Brian Burns, of course, would be a great signing. Bryce Huff might be more realistic, but I mean, they need a couple pieces on that, on that defensive line. I mean, beyond stars, and they need some. They got 6 free agents, so I mean, I think they're going to have to figure out, a couple D-line additions that they can make that aren't super expensive. But they worked out some great defensive linemen today, or they not worked out, but they met with.
I've gone through, haven't gone through every single free agent, but I've gone through probably the top 50 or so. And just on the defensive line alone, I like Jonathan Greenard. He has a 9.3% run stop rate, which is like top of the class last year in terms of run stop rate. So he's a productive player. He has a great motor. He's a great athlete. I think obviously in the top of all of the free agents is Brian Burns. He's 25. It's not like Chase Young 25, where you have a guy that was supposed to be good and was good for a year, had an injury, and you're hoping to squeeze the last couple, not even squeeze, but trying to make him play at his best. Brian Burns is a legit, he's going to be productive if you sign him player. He is going to be productive for you, but he comes at a high price tag, right? He would be a huge dollar figure. I've seen Bryce Huff thrown around. I've watched a little bit of Bryce Huff. I think he's good. He seems a little undersized in terms of his height and length, but he has a great motor, and he seems very strong. Like of the tape I've seen of him, he's just
plays with his hair on fire.
Yeah, he just bulldozes over tackles, like straight on into them, runs them over, sacks the quarterback. So Bryce Huff is another guy I like on the end.
They got to get real on some of these guys that they pick up in on this line. I mean, they got to change out some of these guys. I mean, their line this year was hugely disappointing. They got to somehow get better, off of maybe the free agent market, maybe the draft, but definitely they got the defensive line has 6 guys. You only really have Armstead, who's older. How many years is he going to play? Hargrave and Bosa. And then you have, Drake Jackson and Robert Beal. Other than that, I mean, you may have one other guy that's that's not under, it's not a free agent. Kinlaw's a free agent. Givens is a free agent. All those guys are free agents. So they got some big decisions to make on their defensive line. Now, Chris Jones is far and away the best defensive lineman out there. He made $19.5 million last year. But I mean, he is worth every penny he gets. The guy's a total beast of a rusher. He sets the tone. He's tough as hell. He's not even 30 years old yet. He's 29. So he's, obviously he's going to get huge money to stay in Kansas City. Yeah. But that's the guy. That's the guy to go after. Now, if once he's not on the board, obviously you're going to look down the list a little bit. I mean, but can you improve your defensive line? Can you add a Brian Burns? He'll be out there. Christian Wilkins, is he going to be out there? Or is he going to be, I saw that Matabuke got franchised. So, they're going to have to go into Kevin Givens is another guy who's a free agent. So they're going to have to go find either in the draft or in this free agent market some replacements for their, 6 leaving defensive linemen.
I was hoping that the Ravens would let Matabuke walk. Obviously, they didn't. Some people think he's the best player in the entire free agency class. Like I was listening to Randy Mueller talk about he ranked all the free agents. I think he had Justin Matabuke as the top free agent in the class. Like he really likes Matabuke. And obviously the Ravens did too, because they franchise tagged him. On the offensive line, I like Michael Owenu from the Patriots. He is a right guard. He's better at right guard, but you can put him at right tackle. I think the Patriots used him at right tackle this year, and he definitely held his ground, and he was good. Having him at right guard's like more of a luxury at this point, but I'm not sure what the answer is right there on the right tackle.
The right guard,
Michael Owenu is legit right guard for sure. If you have the luxury of playing him at right guard, I mean, that's an all-pro right guard right there.
Well, it sounds like Feliciano's coming back, and you have Burford. So do they even need a right guard?
You definitely can make an upgrade there.
Yeah, but I mean, it sounds like they won't. I'll tell you, I've always been a fan of Kevin Zeitler, who's now 34 years old. But man, he is tough for the Ravens. He's playing right guard for the Ravens right now.
I mean, when looking at the Niners, though, Dad, when you look at the team, what was the bigger issue? Was it right tackle or was it right guard? Because at the end of the season, right guard was what was the reason why the Niners, struggled in some of those last drives. I know the right tackle position is way more important. I understand. It's way more important. Tackles are way more important. Colton McKivitz is not a long-term answer at right tackle. You need to get a right tackle. But I wouldn't say that the right guard position is just solidified.
No, I mean, I wouldn't either. I mean, obviously you're looking for into the draft. And sounds like they want to bring back Feliciano, and you have Burford coming back. So you do have some pieces there, but are they bench pieces? Is Burford a bench player? Is Feliciano a bench player at this point? So, I mean, but you got 2 candidates right there. And then, there's guards in free agency and there's guards in the draft. I mean, as far as free agency, I mean, I personally think that I would move on from Brendel. I think Brendel at $5 million, the way DJ Reader moved him around this year. I think they've got other guys. I think Zakelj could maybe play center. I think Colton McKivit's best spot might be center. So, I mean, I would move on from Brendel and try to change out everything except for Trent Williams and Aaron Banks. And I think you also got to start, thinking about getting a tackle candidate as a, to take over for Trent Williams at some point. So as far as free agents on the offensive line, I mean, it's, Laken Tomlinson's now out there. You saw that. Zeitler is one of my favorites. Trent Brown, if you're going to go get a free agent tackle, he's huge bodied tackle. So that one could make sense. At guard, there's other guys as well. I like Damian Lewis from the Seahawks quite a bit. So there's going to be a bunch of names out in the Kevin Dotson from the Rams, I think is a really good guard as well. So they'll have free agent options at guard, and obviously there's good options in the draft for guard as well. The kid Mahogany from Boston College is really one of my favorite guards in the draft. He's just a big brawling monster guard who they say is probably going to go in the second or third round.
One last thing here from the Silver article that I want to bring up before we go to the calls, because we're already 30 minutes in. Later on in the article, Silver says, when he's talking about just the fact that Shanahan and Lynch are going to have to be honest about, how some of their veteran players played this season and how much they're actually paying them. He said, according to organization sources, many tough conversations are already being contemplated. That being said,
about what? Players or
players that are being paid, big numbers that, they may have to move on from. So Tough conversations are being made right now inside Niners headquarters. Who do you think is a potential cut candidate for the 49ers? I know you've mentioned Juszczyk. Cutting him would save $7.5 million in the cap, or cutting him would save $5 million on the cap. He's making 7.5. He's the first candidate just because, he's a veteran. You're paying your fullback a lot of money. Obviously, there's pushback from that. He's a fan favorite, and, he's instrumental in this run game. Who do you think a potential cut candidate is going to this offseason?
Well, they got a bunch of free agents. I mean, I don't know if it will be about cuts as much as free agents that you just let walk away. But I would say maybe Jake Brendel. They're paying him $5 million at center, and you have Feliciano, who they say they like. They've got Zakelj. You've got Ben Barch, who I could see them. They got him late in the year. I could see them bringing him back into the fold. So as I said, I think they'll probably go for a tackle, and Colton McKivit's, I think, best spot maybe center. So I think Brendel could be the guy that gets cut along with Juszczyk on the offense. On the defense, it's really I don't see anybody really. I don't see anybody on the defense getting cut. I mean, I guess you could make an argument for Dre Greenlaw if Greenlaw, you wanted to cut him and kind of reassign his deal if he's going to be out for any period of time. I don't think they're going to move on from Greenlaw, but I could see them restructuring or changing his contract. Other than that, I think they're all the defensive players that they would say goodbye to: Tayshaun Gibson, Logan Ryan, Oren Burks, Kevin Givens, Randy Gregory, Chase Young, Sebastian. They're all free agents, and they're just going to walk away. So I don't know that there's a guy. I could see the Brendel and Juszczyk being the two guys that I could see them trying to save money by moving on from.
Yeah. Cutting Greenlaw would save $6.8 million, but again, I don't know. I can't really see them cutting anyone.
This guy's does Armstead. I don't think Armstead's going to get cut.
Yeah, I don't think Armstead's going to get cut either. I think it may be a situation in a year or two where they're really tight against the cap. It seems like right now, especially with all the walking free agents, they can make it work with signing lower lower cost guys, but I guess we'll see. Do you want to take some calls?
Yeah, let's take some calls. Let me also say this. I thought today there was a number of reports of prospects the Niners met with in Indianapolis. And to me, just 2 or 3 of these guys that they met with are truly exciting. I think Cedric Gray, the linebacker from Carolina, 6'2", 235, first team All ACC. I love Cedric Gray. To me, he's the safest pick in the entire draft. Awesome linebacker, Buckus semifinalist, 3-time team captain. Guy had 369 total tackles at North Carolina. So they met with Cedric Gray. I love Cedric Gray. They met with Javon Solomon, who I'm a big fan of as well, from Troy State. He's a guy's got a wrestling background, had an awesome career at Troy, great edge rusher. I love Javon Solomon. And then the third guy, they met with Jonah Ellis, who's Luther Ellis's kid, the Utah defensive end, outside backer. I love Jonah Ellis. I think Jonah Ellis is going to be a tremendous star. McKinley Jackson, who's one of my favorites from A&M, who was the state of Mississippi high school player of the year, number 1 player out of the state of Mississippi. Went to A&M, was a captain junior year and senior year. He's a one technique nose guard who's really strong. Love McKinley Jackson, and they met with him. And then Darius Robinson, who is, first team All SEC, academic honor roll, 6'5", 290. Didn't even play football till junior year of high school, and he's amazing. So they met with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of my very favorite players in the entire draft, all today. So, are all at the combine. So to me, if that means, you never know. Sometimes it means they're doing a smoke screen. Just by the quality of these players, I pretty much guarantee you that it's not a smoke screen, that they actually met with these guys because they like these guys. And that's a good sign because all those guys can flat out play.
All right.
What call you want to go to?
Truly Gifted. Do you have a cam?
Truly Gifted. We need a cam.
How you doing?
Truly Gifted. We get no cam?
Hold on 1 second. Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Up?
Good.
What do you want to talk about tonight, man?
So the first thing I wanted to talk about, I've been meaning to tell you this for a minute, but the fullback position. I don't know why you don't give Jack Colito more love.
He's gone.
What?
Yeah, he's in. That's why. He's in Pittsburgh.
Steelers? Yeah.
Let me double check. Let me double check where he is. But he, he's
a cool guy.
Colletto. Yeah, he was a cool guy, smart guy, and a underrated player. He got picked up by them on the practice squad. Let me see if he's still on their practice squad.
Yeah, he's on the Steelers.
Yeah, Jack Colletto. Yep, fullback.
Yeah, they got him in that guy.
He's smart kid. Juice said he was the smartest player he's ever been around. The guy was like a mechanical engineering major. I asked him last summer, I'm like, man, what's your greatest strength? He's like, dude, I can memorize all the plays like in one day. I was like, awesome.
He might have been a low key genius. Like he might have just been an under the radar, one of those guys.
Yeah, he's going to be really good when he gets a shot.
Yeah.
But another thing I wanted to say is the receiver from Kansas City, Kadarius Toney.
Right.
I liked him since he was in college with Kyle Pitts. I really feel like we should give him a shot. I know his attitude problems is a lot, but if he can,
is it attitude problems or is it what is his issue? Because you know what, this guy moves like very few others. I watched him at Florida, and his body control, forward, backward. I mean, this is a really dangerous open field runner. I feel like he could go somewhere and bust out. I think that's a good call.
I'm a real big fan of those gadget players like Wan'Dale Robinson and Kadarius Toney, Tank Dales from Houston.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really wish we can go get him.
Gifted, are you NorCal? What part of the country in?
Oakland, California.
Nice.
Yeah,
well, we appreciate. We appreciate you watching the show. Are you Niners, all Niners, or are you?
Yes.
Who's your teams? Niners.
All Niners, and
Niners.
Warriors.
There you go. How you feeling about Steph and Clay and Draymond right now?
I don't know. Clay's been playing better since he's came off the bench. They got a lot going on, but I hope they win because I'm really heartbroken over my Niners, man. That one, it doesn't hurt as much as the other ones, just because you can't really blame Brock, But I really wanted that one. I want to see them win in front of me, So
I know, seriously, and they almost had it. And it's like when you watch it. When you watch it again, you realize
Modesto 49ers, and I've been a fan ever since. So.
Yeah. When I watched it again, I was like, man, they almost had it. Had it. Seriously, I mean, if they make a couple first downs at the end of that game, they kick a field goal, they get out of there, they win the Super Bowl. And we're talking about Brock Purdy as a Super Bowl winner and the Niners with their 6th Lombardi. It's just they couldn't make that first down, weren't good enough in the moment. Now they got to rebuild their both sides of the line of scrimmage, and the good thing is they got the quarterback, but they got to build around the quarterback, and they got to protect him, and they got to figure out a way to rush Mahomes. I mean, he didn't feel their rush the way he needed to.
I just want us to take advantage of our opportunities before these other teams start catching up, and then we got to move backwards before moving forwards again. So.
Yep, Detroit. Who else?
Green Bay. Seattle to a certain extent,
Yeah, maybe Bears some point. Maybe if they get it rolling. Yeah, no, I hear
Falcons. Watch out for the Falcons.
Really?
Yeah, they are quarterback away. Ever since they played us, and it was a close game. Like for some reason, every time somebody plays us tough, in a couple of years they get going. Like Detroit played us when they came back.
What happened? There you go. They're saying the Falcons may go for Justin Fields.
They have the 8th.
Well, they're saying that they may trade for Justin Fields.
Daniels, watch out. So
you like Jaden Daniels from LSU? Whole thing about Jaden Daniels, he was great, but how much of that was Jaden Daniels? How much of that was Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yes. And
those
it's hard.
Guys are really good.
If it was 32 teams, it'd be a way better league. So
that's the toughest thing. It's like, are you Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase and no, not Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase and Justin
Jefferson. Yeah.
Or are you Mac Jones? With who did he have? He had
Ruggs and Judy. Yeah.
That's another receiver. Henry Ruggs.
What a talent he was. Unfortunately,
right.
He ruined everybody. Ruined his own life. Ruined that other woman's life. Ruined the life of her pet. I mean, he had a bad night. Truly gifted. We're gonna jump, but we appreciate you, man. Have a great night. Thanks for jumping in. Thanks for watching the show. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Truly. We got 10 minutes before we got to jump ship. So,
Big Mo, easy. What's up, Big Mo?
Gentlemen,
Mo.
Larry, my guys, how you guys doing tonight?
Yeah, we're doing good.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. You know what? Life is great. You know what I mean? We just gotta appreciate life, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta worry about 49ers losing the Super Bowl, man. Leave that in the past, everybody. Leave that in the past, bro. Life is good. You know what I'm saying?
Whose dog is barking?
That's my little dog, man. I got a little Maltese.
Really?
Yeah, come here. Oh, he ran out of snow. Come here, baby.
I would have thought Big Mo had a couple like Doberman pinchers out front.
Man, look.
Oh, you got a little dog.
Yeah, I got a little guy. Get pumpkins. He's a man, bro. He runs my house. This is my guy right here. Anyway.
So what's going on, man? How are you? How's your February 28th going?
Man, it's going good, man. You know what I'm saying? We're getting ready to close out this month. I agree with Kev though, man, with that Michael Penix thing, dude. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I made money on that dude this year, bro. Like for real, for real. Like he was lit. Like he was doing real good this year. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't think we got a chance to get him. But yeah, it's crazy how he's
Well,
holding up.
to cut you
Well,
off.
no, I think they do.
They have Michael
They do have a
Penix.
chance.
They have Michael Penix going 44 to the Raiders right after Bo Nix. So,
Well, here's
low.
the question: how much do you believe in Michael Penix? Like, if you're the 49ers at the end of the first round, would you take Michael Penix?
Oof. We need so much. We need so much more other stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know you have Brock Purdy, but I'll tell you right now, if you either do or you don't believe in this kid, and I do believe in this kid.
Oh, he's nice.
Yeah, he's nice. I'll say this: if it was true that he was going to go in the 40s, I would take their pick at 31 and try to trade down the board a little bit, and then get extra picks and then draft him. Because
why you don't even need him. You don't need him though.
You don't need him, but
you're not going to play him.
Yeah, but I mean, a quarterback has value. I mean, a real value. This guy's amazing. This is a great quarterback. You're telling me that if you could get, what if this is the next Mahomes? If you could get the next Mahomes,
but how would they even know he can't play? He's not going to play. How would they know if he's the next Mahomes?
Well, I mean, maybe Purdy gets hurt. Not wishing for it to happen, but I'm just saying. And
we definitely need a backup plan because I mean, up until this year, man, our quarterback situation has definitely not been stable. So I mean, you know,
you can't have enough good quarterbacks. I mean, you're not going to. First of all, it'd be a cheaper option. I wouldn't do it at 31, but first of all, I don't believe this. I don't believe these mocks. I think Penix is going to go like 15. That's what I think. I don't believe he's going to fall past 15. But if the mocks are right and he's going in the 40s, and I'm the 49ers and I'm picking at 31, heck yeah, I'm going to trade back a couple times and I'm going to draft that guy. That's a steal at 30. That's a steal if you can get him at 38 or something like that with all kinds of extra picks from trading back. Maybe you get a couple extra draft choices. I think that, I mean, I understand that he's not their primary need. They need a tackle. They need a defensive tackle. They need a corner. They need a wide receiver. They need, they got a bunch of different other needs. But the quarterback position is where it's at. And if Penix is as good as I think he is, you will be able to trade him down the road for so much more than what you're investing to get him. I mean, to me, it's a steal. And I don't know how he would ever play, but if Sam Darnold moves on and Brock Purdy gets hurt, you're going to Brandon Allen, or would you rather have Michael Penix sitting there? I think I'd rather have Michael Penix.
I could agree with that. You know what the 49ers need, man? We need a damn defensive coordinator, bro. Get y'all shit together and hire somebody, man. What are you guys doing?
Are you Big Mo? Are you available? I mean, can you step in?
Bro, listen, dude. I'm the offensive coordinator when we play Madden. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the defensive coordinator. You know what I mean? I don't want that job. You know what I'm saying?
This is what you do. This is what you do. You take Kyle Shanahan to the Golden Steer. All right.
Hey.
And you just say, hey, Big Mo would like to be the DC. What do you think? Let's take it from there.
Hey, look, the Golden Steer got that great food, man. Hey, you never know. You never know. It might sway him. You never know. Hey, man, you know
Who do you want as the DC?
I mean, who do I want? I want Bill Belichick. That's who I want. Who are we going to get? Probably not him. You know what I mean? I'm hoping and praying like you that we get him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
I don't know how credible was the report today that they talked to him and he
it's 49ers news 24/7. Some people say he's a clown. I've had good interactions with him on Twitter. He seems like no one knows who he is, but he has had reports in the past and he seems like he has some sources within the league. He must have some friends that are in the league or something because he reports stuff that becomes true. And his report was just that the Niners reached out to Belichick and Belichick politely declined. So
okay.
That makes sense though. I mean, I've been saying they should go get him. my whole thing was, I don't know if Bill Belichick's gonna say yes or not. I just think you have to ask, right? Because he's the all-time great coach, and you're trying to win a Super Bowl. And some people were like, "Oh, like that'll never happen." Kyle's ego, I think
Kyle wanted it to happen.
Yeah, he was the one who wanted it to happen. So it's like, what are we talking about?
Hey, I wanted to get you guys' opinion on something. Did you guys hear that thing about Adam Peters saying, like, kind of throwing shade at Brock Purdy, talking about, well, if he was all that good, he wouldn't have went last in the draft or some stuff?
No, that wasn't his point. I heard it live. He said, if we really had the conviction, he was trying to basically be deferential and self-deprecating by saying that, hey, I know people want to credit us with drafting Brock, but if we really knew that he was going to be as good as he is now, we probably wouldn't have taken him with the last pick.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because like when I read the quote, I was like looking at it like, man, like Adam Peters throwing like shade on the way out. Like, what is going on right now?
No, he's not throwing shade. He wasn't throwing shade. It was more like, hey, you know what? Don't try to credit me too much. So.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. That sounds more like along the lines of how he's always been. That's why I was like, man, like to me, it just kind of sounded like the way they wrote the quote, you could misconstrue it. You know what I mean?
Right. No. Oh, I know. Yeah, I've heard people kind of launch into discussions about this, but no, it was all based. Yeah, it was him trying to say, hey, look, if we really knew that Brock Purdy was going to be great, we would have drafted him a whole lot sooner.
Big Mo, we got 2 minutes left before we have to jump. So
hey, that's why I'm glad I got you in the clubhouse, Larry, because you get us the information that we motherfucking need, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you for having me on. I know you guys got other guests on, so let me just say this, bro. I appreciate you guys always. And last but not least, it's that billionaire tingle, baby. Let's go.
Big Mo easy.
Big Mo's the best.
Big Mo is incredible.
Last call of the night here.
Alan from Coles. Alan, how are you in Coles?
Hey, Larry, how you doing, man?
He did not get fired. The last time we saw you on the show, your manager came over and things got dicey.
Yeah, seriously.
No. You don't remember, Larry, when you had what was his name? It was a while back. I called you through Denny's, so remember?
Yeah, I remember you were there at Denny's with the family. Moon's over my hammy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're
seeing the rooftop of Coles. It's very distinctive.
I'm moving pallets around because
that's all right.
I'm over here throwing some moving packages from a trailer to the conveyor belt and stuff.
Now, what time did you get there? How many more hours of work do you got?
I got here at 6 and I leave at 4.
4 a.m.
Yes, sir.
So that's 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Pacific.
Yep.
So you got about it's almost 8 o'clock. So you got a few more hours. You're like midday right now. You gonna get some lunch here in a few minutes?
No. So we get two breaks and total of an hour lunch.
Okay.
So we get 1 30-minute and then another 30-minute break on top of that.
For a guy that starts work at 6 and ends at 4 o'clock in the morning, what's your eating schedule looking like?
When do you chow down?
Twice a day. So like once I'm at home because it'd be about 12-ish when I wake up. So it'd be like breakfast technically. And then I probably won't eat again until I get here on my first break. About what?
Does Coles have a great like restaurant in there or kitchen or?
No, they got like a little like a
cafe,
convenience store, which is a little overpriced. Yeah. But I'm going to the combine, Larry.
You're in Indy.
Yeah, I'm about to go take a look at that myself.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Are you going to the combine? Oh, okay,
yes, sir.
Nice. What does that cost you?
Nothing. It's free.
Nice. Look at that. What day? That's Friday. Is that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or something like that?
No, Thursday through Sunday.
Thursday through Sunday. What drill are you waiting? What do you want to see? You want to see the 3-cone drill? You want to see the field work? You want to see the 40s?
I want to see the old lineman's footwork, man.
There you go.
Who got it? Who don't?
The big uglies. Yeah, seriously. Who could?
And then after that, probably DBs. I think all of us can agree that's the 2 positions we needed.
You're not going for the sexy 40 times. You're going for the offensive lineman. I respect that.
Well, I played O-line in high school. I played O-line, D-line, so I'm part of the Big Uglies.
There you go.
So
there you go. Were you a tackle, a guard? Were you a true two-gapper?
I was everything. Whatever coach put me, I try to play my best. Was I
play
great
center?
at all of them? Hell no. Yeah, I mainly played center through high school.
What are your dimensions? What are your dimensions?
So I don't remember on the top of my head.
I mean, how tall are
I did play.
How tall are you, and how much?
It's not a math question. It's not a math question.
I'm 5.
You leave Indianapolis at 4:30, going 63 miles an hour. At what rate of speed will you arrive in Chicago? Now, how tall and what do you weigh in these days?
So when I played, I was about 5'8", 5'9", about 265.
Gotcha. Compact but powerful.
I wasn't very powerful.
Alan, we gotta jump soon. So do you have a quick thought before we gotta jump?
I don't like the fact that everybody's talking about getting Kirk Cousins and let Purdy develop his actual first. Yeah.
Who's saying that? Is that a different, maybe a different content creator?
No, so no, I was just on Jesse's.
Jesse said this.
Caller. No, not Jesse. Some caller.
Oh, caller
said we should go get Kirk Cousins. You got the extra cap space. I said no. That's the total opposite of what we need.
What did Jesse say to this wisdom? Did Jesse attack this man?
He said the same thing. He said, for what it's worth, he's saying Kirk Cousins might not be the same after post-injury, and that keeping with Purdy might be the best move anyways, and go get other positions that we're needing.
I agree. Alan, we got to jump, bud. Have a great night.
All right, man. Have a good one, man.
Peace. Good to see you. It's Alan from Coles. Kev, it was the best times.
We got one super here.
One super. Boxing fan times 4. Personally, I don't think you can really get a quality starting offensive tackle at 31. Can't be mad if they go D-line or either trade the pick. We're missing depth on D. Yeah, I agree.
Trade up and get a legit tackle. You could hope one falls to you, but it seems like a lot of tackles are going to go before 20. That's what some people are speculating, that all the good tackles will be gone at like 20. So if you can trade up to like 14 and draft like a J.C. Latham or a Marius Mims, I would do it. But if you can't, I would settle for a defensive lineman at 31. I've seen they got mocked Chop Robinson. That's actually the one guy I've actually watched tape on, and I don't really like him.
He's a workout freak, though.
He's a workout freak, but he's short. He's small.
6'3", 253.
Does he have long arms? Because he doesn't look very big on film.
Well, I kind of like the other defensive end there more as well. Not Chop, but I forget the other guy's name. But who's going to go a little bit later. But I kind of like the other Penn State, Adisa Isaac, I think his name is, 6'4", about 250 from Penn State. Love him. I look at the Niners at 31. I'm looking at Tankathon has him taking Tyler Guyton. In the neighborhood is like Brian Thomas at 28. Man, Brian Thomas is just a special player. I mean, that's a big-time star wide receiver. They don't need another star wide receiver, but God, if you're going to really kick butt, you may want to get a star wide receiver. Offensive tackle, Guyton is, even Trent Williams says, man, he's nasty in the run game. 6'7", 330. I think that's probably, if you said who's the most obvious guy that they would go for, I think it would be him. But the other guy that's listed at going at 33 is Darius Robinson, and I would take Darius Robinson. I love the way he moves at 290 pounds. I think if he played at 285, he would be just ridiculous. And if you put him opposite Nick Bosa, now you got two guys who can really set the edge. I mean, Darius Robinson at 285 could just be an absolute freaking nature monster. So to me, it's kind of a choice between Guyton, the offensive tackle, or Darius Robinson, the defensive end. But then if you go deeper, I mean, there's Michael Penix who will be sitting there. I think he's going to be a star. So, I mean, if I think a star quarterback's there, I probably should take him. Tavondre Sweat is enormously huge and strong against the run. Edgerrin Cooper from A&M is one of the fastest linebackers in the draft. I love him. He's a tremendous player. Jonah Ellis is a great pass rusher, but he's about 250 pounds. And then, at the bottom, later in the round, later down the board, is like Michael Hall from Ohio State, 6'2", 290. He was awesome this year. His pass rush win rate was like 17%. It was like the second highest in all of college football. So I don't know. To me, Rook Ororo from Clemson is, he wears number 33. He's 6'4", 295 pounds, and he moves incredibly well. And he was productive, 5 sacks this year. You're not going to find too many guys 6'4", 295 that move like Ororo. So to me, that's kind of how I'd be looking at it. Ororo, Michael Hall, and then Jonah Ellis, Edgerrin Cooper, Michael Penix, Chris Jenkins, maybe from Ohio, from Michigan, Darius Robinson, Tyler Guyton. Those are the guys I'd be looking at 31. And who knows? Who knows what direction they'll go in?
All right. Good stream.
All right, Kev. Good stuff, man. Thanks to everybody. Have a great night. Join me. Ned Coletti's going to stop by coming up next. We'll talk a little baseball. Danny will be in the house. We'll switch rooms, and we'll hit that next. Thanks to everybody who supported the Krug Show as we approach 40,000 subs. Hit like, hit subscribe. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon'